So good to see you again, Lila.
Yes, for me, it's good to see you too.
So Lila and we've been working with each other online for the last 4 years, doing hypnosis surrogate sessions, channeling. So happy to finally meet you in person. Just give
Of
you that big
course.
hug.
Yes, yes. Yes, exactly.
So what are we going to talk about today?
What about anxieties?
Okay. Do you want to share?
There's different type of ways, that we experience in the anxiety. One could be, for example, when we were little, there was a situation that we couldn't process very well. Back then we couldn't understand it, or we were just afraid of something. That part, right, at that moment kind of like got frozen in time, right, because it couldn't be processed, right? So we couldn't understand it. So kind of like it got there, waiting for that moment, to be understood. But then when we grow up and we are in a similar moment, so kind of like that part that got frozen kind of popped up there, right? And then you start feeling, you start acting or responding, or the thoughts are the same as the ones before, on that scene or on that memory. We feel just like it was before. Yeah. Right. So that is one of the ways, that we experience anxiety. And that's the kind of way also for past life, if it is linked to a past life, it's going to feel kind of the same, as all those parts that are there, waiting to be healed. They're knocking our doors, telling us, hey, you're holding a belief that is not in balance or in alignment with who you truly are. So we can pay attention to them, because if something bothers us, then is when we can actually act on it.
I totally agree with you. It's like this dense energy, and it's just been stuck and built up for a long time. And it's always something underneath that feeling of anxiety, whether or not it's fear, worry, depression, or even that, because when you mentioned about being stuck, it could be something so minor to other people, but to you, it may have been traumatic.
Exactly.
So
yes.
it's a part of you that felt like can't process this at this moment, that scared part of you.
Exactly. They are frozen, so it is another part, right, that needs to be understood, heard, so it can actually change, it can transform itself. When that understanding comes, and that compassion and that healing comes, then that part transforms itself. It's no longer scared. You could transform anything really beautiful that it is in alignment with the true self of that person. So now that person kind of have more space to express himself or herself.
If it did happen on a past life, or when you're younger and you're an adult now, it seems like there's a part of you that you're creating from a place of perhaps maybe of lack or separation. Or maybe people might say, this, I feel like a part of me is missing.
I feel blocked, I'm stuck. But actually it shows just illusions.
An illusion.
The self that actually feels like that, but actually it's not stuck at any time. It's kind of like you couldn't understand something, or maybe wants to go here, wants to go there. So that feeling of going here, there, all the time, kind of like that, it feels like we're stuck in the same moment. But we are undefined. So we don't know which way to take.
Yep, exactly. So that's where we come, and we really have to, what is the root cause? Exactly.
The first moment that part was created or was separated from the self. That first time, that is the most important time. It's like a domino effect. That's why the first moment is so important, because that one is the one that created all the associations with the other ones.
Correct.
Not only in a past life, not only in childhood, it could be when you were a teen, and also it could be when you were inside the womb.
Yeah, because we are multidimensional beings, right?
Exactly.
So everything is all happening at the now moment. So although those lives, you feel like, oh, it's a past life, we're thinking linear at this moment, but everything is happening at this time.
These moments, all the connections that you are at that moment of the self, you are here right now, and you are this version of yourself right now. So all the connections right now is for this version. A week ago, you were a different version. So the connection, believe me, they're going to be different. Not so much far away, because you're kind of still the same one. There's not so many changes, but it just depends on also what is going on around your life. Also, the connections are going to be different. So that's why it's so important, the now moment. It's the most important of everything. It's the only thing that exists, actually. But
it's interesting because years ago, I want to be in control of what is going to happen to me and blah, blah, blah. And there are times when I just allowed it to be, but other times it's just the fear of the unknown, right? And I think that's where a lot of anxiety comes in because we all want to know what's going to happen next. What's going to happen to me in 6 months or a year down the road? And time again, our guides would come in and say, just trust, really trust in the overall divine plan of, because there's so many different factors that need to come in.
yes, yeah, but that's the analytical mind. You see, that's the ego
Yeah.
mind trying to figure things out because it believes that it is the only part of the self. It thinks like it is the king,
It's the little self.
person.
Yes.
Exactly. No, nobody else is here but me. So I have to figure everything out. I'm all by myself here.
Right.
And it's not like that. So when the ego mind actually knows or starts to understand that there's other parts that they have their own job, so the ego can relax and actually do its job. So then is when everything kind of flows because we don't need to control, because the ego is not the one creating all those experiences, actually. The ego is the one choosing from what you have over there. So what it's able to do.
Exactly. Yeah, because the ego has always been the one that's saying, you've always been doing this and you're in your comfort zone. So why don't you just continue, just doing whatever you've been doing? Because once you get out from your comfort zone, it's like, oh,
What is going to happen?
Yeah, what's going to happen?
Oh my
And that fear, ego is like, come back.
Exactly. So we got stuck, into that pattern, that behavior, because it feels comfortable, but we know that this is not what we want because it doesn't feel so comfortable. It's kind of limited, right? So we want to expand, but we're afraid of that expansion because what is going to happen with that expansion?
It's interesting because I wrote something during meditation, which is what we are talking about at this moment. And it says, fear is always saying, I'm protecting you. I am your friend. And that is the furthest from the truth. And so you continue staying in this small container, and our soul wants to learn and evolve and experience.
What we believe we create. Everything is perception. The meaning or the definition that you want to give to that specific situation. We weren't taught to just pause and think about it. We just go, we just decide this or that. Oh no, now I didn't know that I was doing this. Oh, now why I'm feeling this way? I don't understand. Well, because it's the subconscious just pushing you here, there, and you're not even realizing it. But when we stop, when we find ourselves kind of in that negative room, that's how sometimes I call it, with that analogy, the negative room and the positive room. So you are inside there, you were pushed. Right now I'm here, I'm exploring this negative room through this belief, so I have this perception right now. So it is about knowing that you are there, that there is an exit door that you can get out. So you just stop there, you take a deep breath in, you change your state of being in the way, okay, releasing that emotion, that overwhelming emotion that actually is not me. So I'm just let it go through me, right? Through some breathing work or some stuff like that, whatever worked for you, right? But you have a more stable and neutral point of view. So now you can decide.
It is neutrality.
It is neutrality.
It is neutrality because it's based on your perception as to what is negative and what is positive for you based on your, prior habits and belief systems. Yeah.
Yes. And when you are in that point of neutrality, then is when you can choose, okay, would I like to go and explore it in a negative way or in a positive way? Now I know the negative. What about if I go and I take the silver lining of the situation? So now all those things around it, they're going to come in that way because actually also your vibration has changed. So now your reality match your vibration because that's the way that quantum physics works, right? Through vibration frequency, we start talking like that. So now you are there. So everything is going to pop up in that way. So you are changing timelines right there.
Yesterday, I received a a text from a client of mine who was feeling under the weather and she just needed some guidance and comfort. She's been anxious, and a few symptoms were difficulty concentrating. She wasn't able to sleep, brain fog, a lot of fatigue, and she does have children. So she's asked us if we can just tune into her. Or would you be open?
Sure.
Okay. Is there anything that her higher self or her guides would like to share with us in regards to anxiety?
Well, what I perceive, as soon as I connected with her, it is like she's like it is around this big fog, and it is a grayish and dark fog around her, and it feels heavy. Yes, there is a sadness. There is a lot of yes beliefs that are not hers,
Mhm.
that belong from when she was from childhood, and is the insecurity that she has inside, because everybody's telling her that you should be doing this, or you should behave like this or like that, or if you're not doing that, it's because you're a bad person, a bad mother, a bad mother, a bad everything. Doesn't understand how it is that being me is so bad, so I'm a bad person. I'm not worthy. I so there's a bunch of issues in a way that is generating this anxiety and this sadness, that comes from her authenticity, that she cannot be who she really is. So why am I here then, if I cannot express it, if I cannot be myself, if I cannot bring my gifts to this world?
Feeling vulnerable, and everyone around her is really challenging her position or her ideology.
Mm-hmm.
And guides are saying, stand up for yourself and really maintain your flow and create healthy boundaries, because she is the light worker in the family. And I'm not saying that everyone is not. If she changes her mindset and stands firm,
Yeah, she needs to find her people, her
yeah, she
tribe.
can find her tribe.
Mostly is that so she can feel supported.
Correct. And there is going to be a transition. I sense that this fog will dissipate and lighten, and she will emerge as a new person, like a snake shedding its old skin.
Mm-hmm.
She
Yes.
has to
Yeah.
feel comfortable little by little.
It is a teaching moment.
Yes,
You know,
it is.
being just you, be just you. Because it kind of is pushing her to actually see herself in the mirror, and
Mhm.
those things that actually is not her, so she can go and throw them out. No, this is not me. This is not me. This is not me. So who I am?
That's right.
Oh, look at me. This reflection is so much better than the one before. Yes, I can work with this. So kind of sometimes it's about that. It's looking that reflection in the mirror and looking, okay, what are those parts that are not you? What are those accessories that you have right there that you're wearing that are not you? Oh no,
Mhm.
this jacket is not me. These earrings are not me. So take them off and put the ones that you prefer today. So all pain is resistance to the natural true self. That's what it is. It's just a reflection of showing, hey, look, this is not you. You're holding on to this. Change it, transform it, so you can be more of who you are. Those emotions that of thought that are not who you are really, they're gonna bother you. So you can change them, you can transform them. There's nothing wrong on exploring the negative. Nothing wrong, because we are giving that definition of the negative. We are giving that through our belief systems, our definitions.
Well, I see her at this moment walking along this path that she's always walked on. And it's a heavy trodden path. But also, there's another path right beside it, and it's parallel. It seems a little rocky, and she's barefoot. So it's really a metaphor saying it's going to be rocky, it's going to be a little hard at times. And I see it further down the road. It's smooth and is much brighter and wider. because there's a lot more opportunities that are going to come for her and a lot of expansion. She does have a choice. We all have choices. Her guides are saying, just move alongside that parallel road at this moment. And although it may be rocky, it's a process because you're unsure of what's going to happen because you've been accustomed to the same outfit that you've been wearing so many years. But it's okay. It's just little by little. And her children are a great support in her life. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yes. And sometimes we think that our outfit is part of us, who we
That's
are,
right.
and actually it's not. You
They're
can change.
not.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's just about believing that you can change it, and then you just change it.
That's right.
I do not prefer this anymore. I prefer the other thing. And knowing that when we are in that negative room, we can always get out of there. So just by knowing that you can change that, that is a big thing. So it's not like we are stuck in there and there's no way out. No, there is always many ways out.
And I also see her family beside her and really going, what are you doing? There's judgment there. There's a lot of talking behind the back. It's almost, I'm hearing gossip.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, who do you think you are? What her guys are saying, just continue walking along that path. And eventually, your energy and your vibration and your way of being will change their mindset as well, just by being who you are, just by you standing tall, believing in yourself, and they will eventually start to notice that there's going to be a major shift.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like putting on, 100% trust that those negative things are there and you believe in them. You can also put 100% trust on those things that you prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and believe on those too. So it's about belief systems. Do I prefer this or do I prefer the other one? Which one I prefer to believe? So I explore. Wherever that you focus on, you're exploring it. You're creating that in your reality. So it is your subconscious mind telling every cell, every particle in your body, hey, we need to create this now because she believes or he believes that this is the situation. So we need to create this. So your body is also creating those emotions, those sensations. So in this physicality, you can actually experience in them. So what it is that you would like to believe, so you explore. It's always up to you. But sometimes we believe that there's no choosing, that it is what it is, and there's no change. And nothing can be more wrong than that. There's always change. Change is the only constant.
Do you see an entity or any attachments?
I don't see an entity, but there's a lot of thoughts or beliefs, about that she's not speaking up, she's not herself. So it's showing in that darkness there.
They're placing her on this healing crystal bed at this moment and just lightening things up in her aura.
Okay, what I can perceive is there's a lot of things from the past, doesn't let her speak up, doesn't let her move. It's like the legs are petrified there. The solar plexus is depleted almost because there's no sense of I am. There's a lot of bags, kind of on her shoulders, carrying, stuff that are not even her, from her. And she has a big, big heart. So that's why she's kind of grabbing everything from everyone because she thinks that she's clearing them out in a way. If she carries with all those things, they are going to be carrying less. But actually, it's not like that.
Right.
And she's very mental. All that heaviness, kind of, it feels like she's disconnected, from herself, from her intuition. So she's telling me that the light that she sees in this moment, it is her children. That's the light that she's following. So kind of like the children are going to be the ones, pulling her out of there, but also it's going to be about the realization that she always had that power. She never lost it.
So currently, right now, her guides, they're clearing her aura, carrying everyone else's burden because she is an empath. She feels that carrying everyone else's burden is going to help the situation become lighter. And it's not.
Yes, it is like she feels responsible
Yeah,
for them because she loves them so much. So she
right,
thinks, she believes that if she takes all their pain, they're going to be better and they're going to treat her better. They're going to
right.
understand her. This is all in her subconscious. She's not aware of what actually is happening. We try to fix everybody else out there, except ourselves. And we are the ones that actually we need to see things in a different perspective. But that comes from a changing within. And sometimes we don't want to change because we're afraid of, the unknown that you said before.
That's
Well,
right.
so what is happening here? She thinks that she doesn't want to confront her own fears, her own stuff, and think that, grabbing everything from them actually is going to change her experience, in this reality, that perception. But that's not the answer. So that's why she feels like she doesn't know where to go because it's not working out. The plan that she has is not working and hasn't. So what should I do now? Because looking within is hard sometimes.
Yeah. So that was great, tuning into her and providing some healing and clearing her aura and really going into the belief systems because a lot of the anxiety is about your belief system and the illusion of so much of it because they feel that that is who you are. And in reality, that's not really who you are.
Yes, and anxiety or fear sometimes comes, from not being in the present moment.
Yeah.
It is about thinking in the future or thinking about the past. It's kind of like we're not here and now. What is happening really here and now?
Yeah. And one of the things that we can do, or if you're in an anxious state, is really ground yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation is good,
Mm-hmm.
breathing meditation, and there's a lot of meditations, mindfulness meditation, just being aware of everything at that moment. Breathing exercises are good. Another thing is crystals. I mean, we can always talk about crystals another day, but this really can ground you. A lot of these dark crystals are really good for grounding and just being in a good state of mind. Another thing is, I just have everything right here for some reason. Maybe I use them. Is
Essential oils?
essential oils. I got this stress away. And sometimes, before a class or whatever the case may be, they're hosting, it's like, what? These essential oils are so good.
Mm-hmm.
Just really
Yeah.
calms your mind.
Lavender is really nice, just
Mhm.
calm you down. Yes, yes.
Touching yourself as well,
Oh,
just
yes.
feeling yourself.
Yes,
And it's
exactly. Is the I'm here and now. So your mind focus on
that's
the now. That's all actually the
important.
focusing. What are you focusing on? The thoughts, or all those negative thoughts that you have pointing in the future or from the past or whatever it is, but it's not here. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be focusing on the now. So you can ground yourself, you can touch yourself, you can listen to what actually is happening there, right? Or maybe you grab a sip of water or you eat something. Sometimes those physical stuff actually help you to be more here and now because it changed your mind, to something else. And that's what it is important at that moment to be in the now, here and now.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lila.
No, thank
Um,
you, Bernice. Thank you for this experience. Awesome. I like it. Mhm.
yeah, beautiful. And I hope everyone else enjoy themselves and come back and join us next time. Thank you.